Hey, Brandon, it's it's a good day for you. You got to be on cloud nine. As soon as the Broncos won that football game, the first thought that entered my mind was, man, he is going to be insufferable, just insufferable for maybe this entire week.
Yeah, it's your shitty internet's kind of like dampening my mood even.
Yeah, it's
So
fair.
you can thank Spectrum for that.
Hey, okay.
Like, the Broncos getting that win though. Woo, yeah, the Eagles just got flagged again because you're cheaters, Philly. You're cheaters. Yeah, refereeing was dicey in that game. I'm not gonna even lie, but come on,
Yeah,
you were up 17-3. All right, you maybe just score some more. Uh, just score some more points. Instead, Sean Payton made the greatest call of the year. Tom, greatest call of the year. I
gutsy.
mean, I was criticizing him. It was like 2 weeks ago, where
Mm,
they
stay
were too
safe.
scared to go for it on 4th and short. They didn't take a field goal this time. Denver gets they cut the 17-3 lead down to 16-17. And he goes for two. And I'm like, oh, we're going for two. Just make it, just make it. And they did. So they take a 1-point lead. That's just laying it out on the table. They get a stop, then they kick a field goal. So they go up by 4 points in a game where touchdowns were hard to come by for both teams. And well, I mean, the 2 times the Eagles scored, it was really easy for them. But outside of those 2 times, like it was a lot of defense. In both games, neither team played a full 60 minutes. Neither team's really played a full 60 minutes all season, so that made a lot of sense. But for Denver, like to get that win over Philadelphia, like on the road where they haven't won since 1986,
Yep.
this season, it's one of those momentum shifting like victories. So yeah, I felt thrilled that Denver got it, and now they're going straight to London, and we get the Jets over there.
Yep.
So I swear to Christ, if we beat the Eagles, then lose to the Jets, I don't know what to make of it at that point. But I
I mean, it'd
think,
be beautiful.
yeah,
Last
well,
undefeated
no,
team, like
forever, no,
last winless team, and I'm technically the Bills are the last undefeated, not anymore, but
yeah,
you beat an undefeated team and then you lose to a
sure,
winless team. I think that's honestly, I think based off of yesterday is where the NFL is heading because good God, man, the amount of upsets yesterday
yeah.
was insane. And talking about the Eagles specifically, I'm curious on your take because Bo was really good in the fourth quarter because that offense couldn't do a whole lot throughout that entire game. And
Yeah.
it wasn't until the fourth quarter that really started to get things going. And you could talk about the flags, right? And you even said so yourself. Like there's definitely some questionable flags of like, I don't know if you call those or potential
Yeah.
some non-calls. But the Eagles have shown up and have looked like the same team for the past few weeks and have been getting away with it, right? In which they're showing up, they're not playing four
Yeah.
quarters of football. And it's like you said, they were out to this pretty good lead, right? And unfortunately, they took their foot off of the gas. And at the end, it finally bit them. They could have lost to the Rams, right? They almost lost to the Rams. And now, like with the Broncos showing up the way that the Buccaneers were another team, right? They didn't show up for that second half. And now you just had the Broncos take advantage. And I think it's because of your defense, because Nick Bonito, holy God, man. I mean, he is just having an insane season, like incredible. So do you attribute the win yesterday to Bo Nix showing up in the fourth? Is it the defense kind of keeping you around in the game? Is it the Eagles taking their foot off the gas? Where are you at in terms of gauging this win?
Um, I'm gonna go outside the box there, and I'm gonna say it's their consistency in the run game. Finally, okay,
It was
it's
good.
been getting better every week this year, and Sean Payton stayed committed to running the football. They kept running the football when they were trailing. J.K. Dobbins has been flipping awesome. They outgained the Eagles. I think it's 130 rushing yards to Philly's 45. Um, so I think that's a big part of it. Staying consistent with that. I think that helped Bo Nix later. There were, and like so many frustrating times if a team loses, it's their team kind of getting in their own way. And the Broncos were doing that in the first half. There were missed opportunities. Then there were penalties when they started to get close to scoring, where they took themselves out of field goal range.
Yeah.
I think twice in that game. So it's limiting those mistakes. Denver was penalized 12 times in this game. So like they've been a little sloppy too. But I think having the consistency of that run game, and then of course the defense keeping them in the game is huge. And Nick Bonito, he came in very clutch late in the game, as did so many players, I think, like on the Broncos defensive side of the ball. But one interesting stat here for Bonito, right? He now leads the league in sacks with 7. He's first in pressures with 31.
Yep.
Second in quickness, but he's 25th in pass rush snaps. So like those first two mean every time he gets an opportunity, he's arguably more effective than any pass rusher on earth right now. So that's part of it. And then also, I think the reliability of Cortland Sutton in the receiving game. Couple third downs late in this game, Sutton gets incredible one just incredible catch. I think that was on 3rd and 6. And then creativity, I think, in play calling once they got into the red zone and, and then going for the 2. Going for the 2.
Going for 2, man. And I mean, like, if you're the Broncos in that situation, like, it's gutsy as hell, but it makes sense, right? Especially if your offense is, like, struggling to move the ball a little bit and you're like, who the hell knows what this is going to look like? Then obviously you kick that field goal in the next series because you could have won that game on that next series, right, if you converted that 3rd down. But being able to go up them by 5, it makes a huge difference in that game. And listen, you talk about penalties. Good God, the Eagles were not without their own penalties yesterday because they were shooting themselves in the foot when flags were being called. The Zach Bond one, I think you can kind of look at that and go, that one little soft there. But
it's a
I don't think that takes away from the Broncos win because, again, like that was a team effort of the offense coming alive in the 4th quarter, the defense keeping them in that game the entirety of the time. There was 2 back-to-back drives that the Eagles had, and they went negative yards. Like they were going backwards.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's I think for the Eagles, maybe this is a little bit of a gut punch saying, all right, I need to wake up a little bit. I know that there are many Eagles fans that have complaining over the past few weeks about their offensive coordinator. That is not going to quiet down. But you even mentioned this. I know Saquon had that big catch for a touchdown, but he was kept in check too in terms of just like in the run game. And you have to wonder again, is that Denver's defense or is it also the Eagles just not getting Saquon involved in the run game? Because if that's an actual problem, and I know their play calling is not great on offense right now, there's some question marks here with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, 6 carries for 30 yards.
I don't know what you're doing. Like you're giving the ball 6 times.
Yeah, our thought was like, they had A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith kind of bitching about not getting targets and receptions. So it seemed like they tried to make those guys happy at the expense of just playing, their brand of football. Is that true? I don't know. They've got a new OC, like you mentioned. I think that takes time. You have high expectations coming off a Super Bowl victory. Their offensive line isn't as effective as it was last season.
It's not.
They lost Landon Dickerson during this game. So, I think all those things kind of just add up over time, but they got to figure out if the Eagles, and this is their first loss. They won the first 4 games. They're still good. They really do just need to figure out their run game. They get that going. I think it fixes so many other issues you might have on offense. And knowing that they did it so well last year, I think they can get back there. I think it's just about committing and then asserting their dominance in the trenches on the offensive side of the ball, which they just haven't done this season. So
they have not.
We'll see if they get there.
Yeah, but big win, man. That's a big freaking win. I mean, and the Chargers, like talking about them, they're another team that they got shut out for 3 quarters, right? They lost against the Commanders. Now Omarion Hampton got banged up. right?
Yeah.
And it's
Ankle
like, oh
sprain or
no,
something.
that Chargers team that was looking really darn solid, they're starting to go down a little bit. The Chiefs are obviously playing tonight against the Jaguars, and the Raiders are
Raiders
woof.
suck.
So Broncos right now, you got to be feeling pretty good, sitting pretty.
Yeah. Yeah, the AFC West is getting interesting. The Chargers couldn't get out of their own way. Depending on how long Hampton's going to be out there down both their starting running backs because Najee's gone. And J.K. Dobbins looks like the second coming of Terrell Davis in Denver. So thank you, L.A., for being too stupid to give that man the money he earned for your asses last year. And you bet on Najee over J.K., and I get it, injury history with Dobbins, but he made it through all of last season. And Dobbins I am every week just appreciating that man more. It's his explosiveness. I think the honestly, the running back he reminds me the most of is Le'Veon Bell in his ability to just wait for the blocks to develop, his patience to let the hole open, to see when something's not there and change course. Like, Bell used to do that shit with the Steelers, and it was poetic and infuriating because you're like, that guy's just sitting back there. He's just waiting. And Dobbins does the same thing. So love it.
Yeah. AFC West things are definitely opening up just a little bit. But, dude, this is a huge win for the Broncos regardless. And we'll see, obviously, like you said, they're going overseas next week against the Jets. A very winnable game. The last winless team in the NFL.